COVID forced many of us to work from home, and it turned out to be one of the positives for many people. But quite a few CEOs are now predicting it won't last, and some employers are making moves to end it. There are now return to office mandates, potentially meaning some tense times between workers and bosses. Jonathan Wolfrey is a human resources expert and managing partner at Talenting and has been looking closely at this issue. All right, firstly, Jonathan, what is the data on how many workers are still working from home?
Currently, the latest figures show that at least 37% of people are working from home on a regular basis, and up to about 20% are working from home pretty much exclusively. So still a significant amount of workers.
Now, just lately, we have seen plenty of noise from big businesses and government about getting all workers back into the office. Why is this move happening?
Well, look, there's a range of reasons why this is looking to occur. First of all, those making these decisions, generally they come from an office where people have worked in the office on a regular basis, so that's what they're used to. We saw a little bit of an increase in productivity at the beginning of the pandemic where workers are working really hard from home and productivity increased, but that's really dropped off. And the latest perception from managers, business owners and the like is that productivity is now dropped as a result of people working regularly from home, particularly in regards to the team collaboration, which is making an impact on organisations in and of itself. So a lot of that's perceptive at the moment, but there's a real feel from those making these decisions that productivity started to decline now that more workers are working from home.
So what is the risk then for a company if they have a mandate of returning to the office?
I think that old saying, the genie's out of the bottle. People, as I've mentioned in there earlier, at least 37% of people are working from home on a regular basis. And many people, if not most people, like it. It works for them. It works for their family responsibilities. It's cheaper because they don't have to pay for parking or lunches in the city and things like that. So given a significant amount of workers are working from home, then that genie's out of the bottle and people are not going to be too happy with that. So it'll come down to who will win this argument, who has the most power in these situations. What we're seeing at the moment is that across Australia, unemployment's at 4.2%, and in South Australia, it's even lower, less than 4% as well. So the power is not necessarily in the hands of employers at the moment. People will vote with their feet, people that want and really value, particularly millennials who significantly favour lifestyle factors over salary, remuneration and the like, will vote with their feet in regards to employment and look for other employers that will meet their needs to work flexibly and work from home. So employers may ask for it, and in some situations they may win. They may get employees to begrudgingly come back into the office on a more regular basis. But I think the challenge will really be, particularly with low unemployment, that there's many options out there for workers, and they'll vote with their feet and go to organisations that will offer them the flexibility that they really crave, particularly millennials and younger workers who particularly value that flexibility.
So what does the future hold then? We're talking about workers voting with their feet, but what happens if we end up with a workforce resenting being in the office full time, but companies refusing to be flexible?
Let's just say that a lot of workers want to work in the office some of the time. They just want some level of flexibility and balance. So it's not to say that everyone will demand working from home on a regular basis, but if they don't see the value in coming to the office, if they feel it's forced and they're not able to manage their personal circumstances, their finances, whatever the case may be, we'll get workplaces that have workers that resent being there, workers that will want more salary or remuneration or put real pressure in regards to that, workers that will be a bit disengaged possibly from the work that they do because they feel forced to be there and things like that. And employers will need to really work carefully through that because we don't want to get into a situation where workers are working to rule, where workers are not happy to come into work, where workers are there begrudgingly. How this plays out, depending on unemployment, depending on how strict employers are with work return to mandates, how workers feel about that and how they're able to balance their personal lives with workplace flexibility will all play into the mix. And there's a lot to play out in this space as organisations are working through this and employees are working through what they expect from their workplaces.
Yeah, times certainly have changed rapidly. Jonathan Wolfrey, Managing Partner at Talenting, thanks for your time.
My pleasure.